But first tonight, I think we've been given an insight already into what federal parliament under this re-elected Labor government will look like. The Prime Minister addressed the Labor caucus today and was outlining his agenda for the year when he needed some help from one of his most incompetent ministers, or if not actually the most incompetent, Chris Bowen.
Energy bill relief, the next tranche coming in, and importantly, our energy, the batteries for renewables, for storage, that have already been undertaken by, Chris will yell out the figure.
9,200.
9,200. He's counting. It was 9,150 when we met earlier this morning. He's out there counting each and every one. And it is making an enormous difference, of course, permanently lowering people's power bills, as well as helping the entire system because it takes pressure off the energy grid.
Quick, better call Chris. You out there? Chris, where are you? Give us the most up-to-date figures on Australia's energy future. I mean, the meme actually writes itself. And you know you're in trouble when you need to call on Chris Bowen. And what is this permanently lowering people's bills nonsense the PM talks of? I mean, our power bills just went up by 10% on July 1, and I've personally lost count of the number of renewables projects which have either been scrapped or delayed in the last few months alone in this country. Yet the PM is still pushing this renewables-only fantasy.
The work that we're doing together on decarbonisation of steel that could produce greater benefits, both economically in terms of jobs, but also greater benefits in reducing global emissions than any measure we could take domestically as a nation state, given how significant that will be going forward as well.
Yeah, as I said, this really sets the tone for the year ahead. We are in trouble under this Labor government. There's still a cost of living crisis. Our national security is under threat. The US wants answers. The alliance is under threat. Albo's been over in China on a Kentucky tour. And it's about time this Prime Minister was held to account. In fact, it's been 72 days since Labor was re-elected. Have a look at the makeup of the House. It is a sea of red. 94 seats for Labor, 43 only for the Libs. And in the Senate, Labor can pass any legislation and do whatever it wants with the help of the Greens. In fact, one Liberal MP described it as like entering the palace of irrelevance. And I'll have more to say on the Liberals in a moment. Gee, the polling is already a shocker for Susan Lee. And if they don't start getting serious about what they represent, they may as well be in the palace of irrelevance for some time. But back to Labor. Look, the Prime Minister has got so many red seats in the House, it's clearly going to be impossible for him to contain his own arrogance. I mean, gosh, the slow-mo video, good grief. And what about the fact that you and I, as the taxpayer, will be paying off other people's HECS debts, all the while Labor leaves us with $1 trillion of debt? But of course, you know, here was the Prime Minister today, brimming with excitement, telling us what he's going to do for us.
Our task is twofold. One is to deal with immediate issues. In the last Parliament, we confronted global inflation, and we have turned the corner there with inflation down to within the Reserve Bank band.
Well, we know Labor loves to blame external factors for its own stuff-ups. I mean, we've been talking for some time about how record government spending has fueled inflation to levels not seen since the start of the COVID pandemic. And the biggest message the Reserve Bank sent when it kept rates on hold in July for a second month in a row is that cost of living is, of course, still an issue in this country. The RBA board hesitated because Labor could not give it the insurance it needed to cut rates, particularly when it comes to inflation. Now, on Friday, the unemployment rate jumped to 4.3%, the highest since 2021. And this is what happens when electricity bills are through the roof, when red tape and IR laws make it impossible for employers, and when unions have their fingers in every pie. Why would anybody really want to go into business right now in this country? I know, no wonder a record amount of businesses are going bust, but Albo will tell you his second-term agenda is as good as the first.
I'm absolutely committed to making sure that we seize the opportunity that we're being given to be able to create that fairer economy, that stronger economy, stronger because it is fairer. Stronger because it is fairer is a core belief that we in this room have as Labor Party members.
And do you reckon he believes what he says? I mean, with the economy all over the shop, the only way out is higher taxes.
Changing one tax over here will make it possible to cut taxes over there.
No sensible progress can be made on productivity, resilience or budget sustainability without proper consideration of more tax reform.
When we speak with tax experts and people that have a view about tax reform, they're interested in efficiency and equity and simplicity.
Tax reform, yeah. We know exactly what that means, of course. I mean, Labor's already started with super tax targeting unrealised gains and has been told by Treasury the budget cannot be fixed without raising taxes and cutting spending. Now, this advice from Treasury would have been well known before you and I went to the polls. So it's going to be a long parliamentary year ahead. And watch out for this productivity roundtable next month, or economic reform roundtable, as Labor is now calling it. No doubt Labor will use it by stealth for inevitable higher taxes.